Hey guys, Miss Tracy here, and we're back on Fallout 76, and we're doing tips and tricks again. I already have a video up of more important tips and tricks. I recommend you check that one out first. There's a link up to it in the description. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with 10 more tips and tricks that you guys should know. The first one is in the Atomic Shop, so I'm going to go ahead and go there real quick. Alright, so I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you can actually check out the items, like the apparel and the camp items, by clicking on them, like you're gonna purchase them. But instead of confirming, don't accidentally hit A or whatever it is on whatever system you're using. You can go over on the Xbox, it's on the D-pad, and you can actually see what these items look like on characters. So here you can go to the skins and you'll have characters holding these skins, or these weapons with the skins on them. Same with the camp items, you'll see people in the camp items, or yeah, see like sitting in the chair or next to the chair. So yeah, I didn't notice that. Maybe you guys already know, but hopefully I helped you out with that one. So another one I talk about in my camping tips and tricks video, but I'm going to mention it here too, just in case you guys don't know. There's purifiers for water that go in water, and then there's ones that go in dirt. So here, let me show you. So here's the ones that go in water. So you need to have water next to your camp to use those. And then there's these ones that go in dirt. So you can put them anywhere down on the ground. So like down there. However, hopefully they don't fix this, but there's a little trick I've learned that you can actually trick the game into thinking that there's dirt where there's not dirt. So we have a campfire underneath this purifier. So all you gotta do, let me find a flat area to put this on. Hold on. Alright, I made another floor here, so we're going to go over to lights, and we're going to put down this campfire here. I believe this is like a basic thing you don't need a plan for. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I did have a plan to unlock it, but I just don't remember. But now it's a little tricky, so you'll see it goes green every once in a while. You kind of got to angle it around the right way. And then it'll say like selected items floating, and you just have to move it around a little bit here and there and keep hitting A until finally it will place. And there you go, now you have a purifier up high. It does float a little, that's a little awkward, but it makes it easier to have these accessible. You can put a door back here, but you'd have to remember that they have to be able to access power. So I have that power connector up there. So yeah, I'll go ahead and clear this up and move on to the next tip. Alright, now I'm just going to talk about a few things that'll get you accidentally wanted involving camps and workshops. So this stuff can be avoided if you turn on pacifist mode. I talked about that in the last tips video, so I'm just going to go over that real fast. You go here to your settings, game, turn on pacifist mode. This way you don't accidentally become wanted from doing these things I'm going to talk about right here. So if you insist on having your pacifist mode off, then you gotta be careful. If you're shooting an enemy near somebody's camp and you accidentally miss the enemy, or your explosive damage does damage to that person's camp, anything in their camp, whether it be their actual camp, or like if someone hit my crops, or even my cow here, which is hard to tell it's my cow, that will make them wanted. Now another weird thing that'll make you wanted is picking a lock on a safe in someone's homestead or workshop. So I'm actually going to go to the homestead and show you. Okay, so what I was trying to say is that it's in workshops, and I'm going to this homestead here. This place, I haven't actually claimed it, but see there's a safe up here. So if you're looting and you're just, you know, it's just a regular place, it doesn't look like somebody's camp, but it's actually a workshop, and a person claimed it, and it's not you, and you go to loot this safe, you will become wanted. Even though it just seems like a regular safe and it's not like a personal safe that someone put down, you will still become wanted. The only way that won't happen is if you're on a team and your teammate owns the workshop, and that actually did not used to be the case. Even then, you would still become wanted, but they actually fixed that, thankfully. So yeah, it's just a couple different things, stupid things that'll make you become wanted. If you guys think of anything else that's ridiculous that makes you become wanted, please post it in the comments, and we'll move on to the next tip. Alright, the next tip is about this room here in White Springs. It's the best room in the game. Maybe you've already come across it, but just in case you haven't, we'll talk about it here. So here on the map, we are at White Spring Resort right here. I've fast traveled directly to this icon right here, and that puts me where I am on the map. And you see over here is where the vault is. So that puts me right here, and it is loud, and it is crazy, and it is laggy here because there is a million robots outside and inside. So we're going to go ahead and walk in here. I'll fast forward. Alright, so this is where you come in when you go in that door there. A little greeter here.
I'm sure our fine concierge staff.
Sometimes it gets really laggy when you walk in this front door. It actually seems pretty smooth right now. And then there are a million shops here. I mean, there's this guy, he sells medical stuff.
Recreational.
I forget what she sells. Books, comics. Cool. Clothes and stuff, but the room that you want is down here. Oh, by the way, every time you come here, you should check this little room right here. See? Look at
Welcome to
beautiful loot.
Captain Kids.
That's the toy shop here, Captain Kids. That guy sells weapons, but here is the beautiful, beautiful room that you're going to want to check out. The Artisan's Corner. And look at this. It's heaven, isn't it? Who needs a camp when you have this room? It's got every single workbench, even the power armor workbenches, and a stash box right here. And then you have all the vendors down the hall. The only thing it doesn't have is a bed. I mean, it's got everything else that you need here. You can even cook. It's just perfect. So if you come into a world and your camp can't be placed, or if you're just over in this area and you can't be bothered to go to your camp, or your camp isn't set up, whatever, there is this room here as a backup anytime you need it. You just gotta fast travel over here. So while we're over here in White Springs, we're gonna talk about the bunker. Now you need to actually go and join the Enclave to get access to the bunker, and you can do that by going to this place over here. And I'll do actually a new video on just joining the Enclave. But anyway, the quest line starts here. And then you will get access to this place. And I will show you why you want to get access to this place. It's awesome. So hold on, let me fast travel over there. Alright, so this is the outside of the bunker. I'm going to go in. I'll fast forward again. Oh, by the way, once you've been here for the first time, it's actually faster to get to the place where I'm going to talk about. If you go here and go in the back entrance. But anyway, the first time you go through here, when you go in here the first time, if you don't have the Enclave thing, you won't be able to get in through this door. Once you can get in through this door, you go down here, and there's a vault door. And it takes a while for the vault door to open, so actually once I start opening it, I'll fast forward again. Alright, so the exciting stuff is actually down here. Go down the elevators. Another thing I'm not going to make you watch. Okay, open the elevator and come out here. Now this place is quite a maze, so there's different places all over in this bunker. Later on, once you finish the Enclave stuff and you become a general, you'll get access to a place in the military wing called the Command Center. And you'll want that because you'll get the special XO1 armor, and there's mods and stuff there. It's really nice. The XO1 is great, especially if you get the jetpack. Also, there's all these different vendors. So there's a vendor in the Command Center. I don't know if you want to see that, if that's going to spoil stuff. So I'm going to go run it up there real quick. So spoiler alert. So this is all information on the nukes. And then here is a place to trade. And then it also has mods for the XO1 armor, which you'll get for doing that quest line. And if you come here and you keep server hopping, which I'll talk about later as another tip, you can have a chance of getting the jetpack mod, which is super nice. But also, there's other things in the bunker that you're going to want to check out. So hang on, let me go to the science wing. So one of the cool things you get access to here in the science wing is this rad shower, the decontamination shower is what it's actually called. If you don't have one in your camp or have somebody in your team with one in their camp, you can come here and remove your rads for free, no matter how irradiated you are. So if you're farming for mutations, that's a good place to come clear yourself up. I'll actually do a video just on farming for mutations too here eventually. So also in the science wing, you can buy the mutations. These serums here will give you mutations. And then there's one other room here that you're going to want to check out to buy stuff in, and that's the medical bay. Alright, here at the medical bay we have one more terminal, and this you can usually find recipes to make stim packs and antibiotics. Super, super helpful. And then this usually changes to like any random chem, so come in here and server hop, which again, like I said, we'll talk about here in a second. And just keep trying until you get all the different chem recipes, and it's really handy. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is server hopping. So to server hop, it's pretty simple. You just leave the game, go here to menu, down to quit, and then come back. You don't have to reset the game, you just come right back. So one of the main reasons for server hopping is for an instance like this. So let's say that someone had already come through and looted all this lead. As long as it wasn't me, which I'll explain here in a second. If this lead is gone, I can leave the server and come back and have a chance at that server having the lead still here. Maybe somebody hasn't looted that server, or I can just keep hopping until I find one that hasn't been looted. The reason that it would not come back is if I was the one who looted this. So if I loot this and I server hop and I come back, it won't actually respawn until it's been, I think, actually 24 real life hours. It's about a day. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But that would be the only reason it wouldn't come back. But if it's just taken from somebody else, eventually you'll find a server where somebody hasn't looted it. Now there's other stuff that actually comes back no matter what, even if you take it, like crops and plants and stuff like this. So like the soot flower, or if you go to like any of the big farms on the map, like down here, and you raid all the crops there and you server hop, you come to a new server, you can pick those crops again. In fact, even if you leave and come back to the same server, I think you can still pick those crops again. So you can get unlimited crops, unlimited food, and sell them for unlimited caps. So there's a bunch of different reasons to server hop. Let's see what else is there. There's nukes. If you are looking for a nuke zone to farm, you can server hop and then just check out the map and look at the map. And if you don't see any red on the map, you just leave and come back until you find a server where someone's nuked it. I mean, that might take a while. I've done that server hopping for nuke stuff for videos, and I think the longest it took me to find a nuke was like half an hour. I did eventually find one. So, you know, just good reasons to server hop. I think that's about it on that one. So we'll move on to the next point. So the next thing is about getting XP in groups. So I've had a lot of people ask me, you know, if you're on a team, how come you're not all getting XP from someone's kill? So for instance, if I'm on a team with somebody and I kill a ghoul, why don't they get XP? Well, if they didn't get a shot in on that ghoul, they don't get XP. The only time they get my XP is if I complete like a quest or event. Sometimes they'll get a little XP and some caps when I complete something. But if you want to get credit on killing stuff, you need to get one hit, at least one hit on the item. So if you're in a group, I recommend everybody taking a pot shot with a low-level weapon so you don't actually kill the enemy that you're shooting without everybody getting a hit on it. That also works in like groups when you're not on a team. So if you're just with randoms, like in a nuke zone or something, if you want credit on the enemies that other people are fighting, you need to get one hit on them. Now, don't be a douche and just go and shoot one hit on stuff and then go run away and let people do the rest of the work. That's no fun. You know, if it's a big enemy, actually stay and help out, because you won't get credit if they don't kill it. So make sure you help kill it. Alright, so my next tip is something that maybe people are not going to agree with, but I personally would recommend when you first start this game to work on leveling up to 50 before you actually complete some of the main storyline quests, because you get special loot from some of the quest lines. Like you get starred weapons. I don't know if I have any on me, but see stuff with a star here. You can get starred, like for instance, there's the Somerset Special. Really good gun. But if you complete the quest that gives you the Somerset Special at level 10, you're going to get a level 10 gun. However, if you complete it at level 50 or above, no matter what, you're going to get a level at either 45 or 50, depending on what the max level is for that type of weapon. So I really recommend just taking time and leveling up. I have a couple different videos on getting XP. I'll make another one that's more clear on all the exact details on getting XP. So, I mean, there's definitely ways to power level without completing quest lines that I would recommend doing before you complete the quest line. So that's about it for that tip. Now, the next tip I'm going to talk to you about is actually not in game. So I'm actually going to encourage you to use social media. So there are some Facebook groups for Fallout. I'll put up some screenshots here in the video and show you. You can join these groups and you can find other players. There's ones that are specific to the console that you're on, if you're on PC, PlayStation, or of course Xbox. There's also some that are just groups for everybody, and you can join and you can look for people selling stuff. It's really handy. You know, let's say you have a lot of a type of ammo that you never use, but somebody else needs it. You can trade it for the ammo that you like, or you can sell it. Plans are a big thing that you can get from people there. They sell all kinds of plans, serums, weapons, just all kinds of stuff that you would not find just by wandering around doing trades with single players. This gives you access to hundreds and thousands of other players that are looking to sell their stuff or buy your stuff, so it's really handy. Plus, you can get help for squads, people going there to like getting a group to kill the queen, just all kinds of stuff. So I really recommend, if you have Facebook, joining some of these groups. It's super handy. All right, my last tip for you today is about fusion cores. Now, this is something a lot of people have figured out already, but in case you haven't figured it out, currently there is a glitch that lets you get unlimited fusion cores. So I'm going to show you. First off, you need to have it in your power armor. And fast forward, I have so much freaking apparel on me. All right, so if you look at this fusion core, let's see. It's about 75%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to server hop, or even just leave this server and come back to this server. And when I come back, it's going to be at 100%. So I'm going to do that real quick. Ozzy, no. All right, so it's at about 75%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the server and come back. And then while I'm wearing the power armor, by the way, that's the important part. You have to have the power armor on while you leave the server and come back. You don't have to come back to this server. You can come back to any server. But when I come back, it's going to be at 100%. So I'll leave and come back and show you that real quick. All right, we are loading back in. And first, when you first load, it always says 0. But then look, 100%. Hopefully, by the time you're watching this, this hasn't been fixed. And it stays, because I really like this glitch. But they might eventually patch this. Otherwise, I think that's all I have for you guys today. I believe that's 10 tips and tricks. I hope I've helped you out. Again, make sure you check out the first video of the tips and tricks, because those are really helpful too. And eventually, if I come up with enough stuff, I'll make a third video. Please subscribe if you can. I really appreciate it when you do. Or at least like the video, something. Let me know you're out there watching. And I'll get back to you guys if you comment too. So take care. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.